My name is Dylan Kelly. I'm an artist and record producer here in Los Angeles, and I'm signed to Universal Republic Records, and I just released my new single, All My Friends. Well, growing up, my dad's brother, he had a lot of tattoos. My dad had a tattoo, so, when you're around something and in that environment, I think it really can influence you. So I always liked tattoos. A lot of my friends growing up, obviously not second graders, but in my teenage years, they all were getting tattooed, and I said, you know what, I kind of like it. I like art. Why not? So then that's kind of how I segued into it. I met my favorite artist, Brendan Rowe, back in 2008, I think. Yeah, it's 2008 when I got my first tattoo. And he had just moved out here about 2 months prior from, I think, back east somewhere, I don't know. And then I just went to him, he did my first tattoo, and after that, I just kept going back to Brendan, and he has done all of my work. So, and it's been a great experience with him. So my first tattoo was on my foot, and it's of a horse, and I figured, I'm nervous breaking that first barrier of getting a tattoo. It's nerve-wracking because it's permanent. And I said, if I'm gonna get anything, it's gonna be for my parents. I don't regret my parents, I never will, so I figured, hey, why not? So I figured, I love my mom, I'll get a tattoo for my mom. How could she be mad afterwards? So her favorite thing is horses. So I got a horse tattoo on my foot, and it turns out Brendan, 2 weeks prior, had actually drawn up a small little piece, and it was perfect, so I just got that, and it was the worst experience. It was horrible. Starting with your feet as your first tattoos is not really advisable, I don't think. Getting your ribs, your back, like your spine, back your kneecaps is never also right up there with how much it hurts. The best thing people can do is really do your research and find a good artist and, make sure it's good art, because it is permanent. And also you have to think about, future jobs or future careers and anything too. And, I've seen some guys where it's like they literally have just their neck done. You're like, that's great. But, when I started getting, at least, there's some more visible places where it's like, unless you're really getting heavily tattooed, you really shouldn't get those done, because it's not really, what other commitment have you made to it, So it's kind of like a earn it type thing. At least that's what I was told, So for me, I got a lot of my body done before I did my hand, and then, or hands plural, I guess they kind of both got it. But, so for me, it's kind of like, if it's too visible, some people, but I think do your research. So my torso is a giant piece. There's an angel and wings and clouds and a clamshell, and it says rejoice in the Lord on my stomach. And so I love, I don't know how many times I could say art in this interview, but I do love art and expression. And so there is a famous painting by Botticelli called The Birth of Venus, and that kind of inspired this whole torso piece. Originally I wanted to do it on my arm, and then somehow it changed into, no, wait, I'm not going to do it on my arm. And we ended up doing it on my torso. And so I figured it's the birth of love. My faith is important, I'm a Christian. And so I wanted to kind of take the concept of the birth of love and put a more, faith-based religious spin on it. So for me, it was more like, here's an angel and then rejoice in the Lord. So I put a little spin on it. I think it turned out great. I love it. It was my second big one. My arm, that was big. It's not big, but one theme. So yeah, I think that was a good story behind that one, I guess. I don't know. For the most part, a lot of my big pieces are all faith-centered and kind of themed. Like my arm is based off of Rock of Ages, which is more, it's a traditional tattoo theme, but this one's just blown up into a larger scale, and it's a whole arm piece. And then I've got a Bible verse on my arm. It says, "We love because he first loved us." So, and then my back's Jonah and the whale, So a lot of it is biblical. Thanks for watching my interview here on InkandHonor.com. You can buy my music on iTunes, Google Play, and Amazon Music. Search for Dylan Kelly. Thanks. Scene. That's good.
Done.
Boom.